Hi guys, thanks for joining me today. I wanted to show you how I pot down this jade plant. And if you've been following me for a while, you have seen me pot down quite a few plants. Now the problem with this jade arrangement is it's got too much soil around the roots and it's not doing its best. It's healthy, but it's not thriving, and I think that it's staying way too moist. So I want to show you a better example of how I potted these. Isn't this a beautiful one? I hope you can see that one. So these are very tightly in this small bowl. It's not a lot of soil, and there's lots of oyster grit in here. So this was one of my more recent potting down projects. And I'm hoping to get the same feel with this one. These are really doing well. And the nice thing about having them all here in just a little bit of soil is they will look a little wrinkled, and that tells me it's time to water. These I'm kind of guessing when it might be dry, and I just think they're going to do so much better if I pot it down to something like this. This is a beautiful pot. It's like a Celadon green with a crackle glaze, and I picked it up at a thrift shop. I think it looks like an antique to me, so I'm kind of excited to use it. Let me go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and just remove these. Now it even has a new little baby here, so I'll have to be very careful. I'm just going to lay these out. Now see, this is not a very big root ball. That does not need a huge bowl of soil. So let's continue this, and I'm going to be very mindful of any of the new shoots that come up. Now this looks like a whole group here, and it looks like one didn't make it, so I'll just get rid of that one. Everything else looks healthy, it just needs a smaller pot. I'm sure that this whole plant will look a lot better and start thriving more. Although this is quite dry. But the last thing you want is too much soil around your jade. So let's get these all out and put them in a better situation. And I may put some of these nice white marble chips. It's also going to make it look really nice too. These were sort of falling over, and I didn't like how that looked. I like them to be like trees. And I have a few little babies. Maybe I'll pop those in. This one was upside down. Okay, so I will use this. I'll probably use this outdoors and plant some flowers. Let me put that one aside. And let's bring in our new antique pot here. The new pot for the jade. Now, I'm just using some... This is regular potting mix. This is quite moist, and I'm going to add a generous helping of the oyster shell. I don't measure anything out. I just like to make sure that there's a lot of nice grit in there, and this is a well-draining mix to begin with. So I may start out by adding in some of these rocks too. I actually think some of that will help the soil drain. A rocky mix. And then of course the oyster grit, you know, I've been adding that to everything, and I'm really happy with how well things drain. Okay, let me add a little bit more in there. So I've got rocks, I've got oyster grit, and I've got a well draining potting mix, and that's going to be a lot less soil around those roots. This is very moist. Let me go ahead and put that in there. Actually, I put too much in. Let's take that out. Okay, now let me tuck that down. And also, you know, they were pretty surface planted. I really could go a little bit deeper and put some soil up around those stems a bit, because everywhere it's touching soil, it'll root out a little more and become a stronger plant. So let me go ahead and do that. Oh, right away this looks better, and I'm not even finished, guys. This is pretty exciting. Whoops. I forgot one. Sometimes potting videos are a little awkward, but I do like to share them with you because I think it's relaxing to watch people pot things up. I know that I enjoy it. Hopefully the sunlight's going to straighten these guys out some too. They were getting used to lying on their sides. I'm really liking this so much better. This is going to go deeper. On all of these pretty days, you can always hear people working in their yards with lawn mowers and the hedgers and the weed whackers. This is coming out great, guys. I can even tuck this little guy in here. And this little guy. I've come to realize that, you know, jades really like to be planted with other jades. Boy, is this looking fantastic. I thought I was going to have to wait for it to settle in for it to look really good. And guys, I've been pressing in my soil harder. I just think a plant appreciates being firmly into the soil. And for a long time I was being really, I think, giving it too light of a touch. But having air pockets around roots is really not ideal, because when you do water it, you want to make sure that it's having an opportunity to drink. Even a succulent jade's going to be thirsty. There's a lot of little babies I'm sticking in, and if they make it, that'll be great. If not, we've got plenty in here. Alrighty. So as usual, I've made quite a mess, but I'm going to clean that pot up. And I think this looks amazing, guys. So much better. And there we go. I think that's a way better setup for this little plant. And I think it's going to do so much better. I think it's going to look nicer, dry out faster, which is ideal for your jades. So thanks so much for tuning in and watching my repot.